guys, welcome back to another video on our channel, Team Crushing the Meta. So we are back with part 2 or game 2 of the Rising deck versus the Dudley deck. If you haven't seen game 1, you can check it out. The link will be in the description section below. So if you guys want also to see the deck profiles on both of these decks, you can check them out and the links will also be there. So in game 1, the Rising deck was able to go first, and that was one of the reasons why it was also able to destroy the Dudley deck on the second right target when it went to grade 3, because with creating both markers 2 times you have enough power and force to just destroy your opponent. And the Dudley deck actually did quite well in that game, but still not good enough to destroy the Rising deck. So right now we have the Dudley deck shuffled and ready. Dudley deck will play on the pink playmat with the dust sleeves, because dust sleeves are always my testing sleeves, and the Rising deck will of course play in the Rising sleeves, and that will play on the black dark playmats. Alright, so we have the Dudley deck shuffled and ready, and we will have the Rising deck shuffled and ready as well. The Rising deck did take the first game, but the Dudley deck now could get the chance to take the second game, and then we have to play a third game. That's the case because now the Dudley deck will go first, which will mean they have 2 turns to try to finish the Rising deck off. I know that this is not the right way to test the 2 decks to see which deck is better, because you would rather test them against other decks and see how they do against the decks that are the best in the format, but this is also just a fun way to see how both decks actually work, especially for you guys, and also get like a preview into how the deck look like and how it works again. Alright, so now both decks are ready. Remember to mix your shuffling styles. Don't use only one shuffling style, because otherwise you are doing the same thing over and over again. So mixing it a little bit is always good. And now we give it a double cut, and now it's ready. So we have the Rising deck with 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and the Dudley deck will go first. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. This is an okay hand. We have a good second right target, but not a good first right target. So we return 2, and then we got 2 more. It's quite good. We have the right grade 3. We have a good second right target. Hopefully we drew into something like Dexter, who could help us to create more grade 3s to the field, which is good. But we could rush a little bit with having the Mason on hand and also the Davy. Alright, so this would be the Dudley hand, which we got 1 grade 2, 2 grade 2 and the 1 grade 1. Okay, for the Rising, we have Rising Nova. That's good. We have another grade 3, and we don't have a grade 2. So what we want to do right here is we really want to get into Rona. And although most people would actually keep the Bull Spike on hand, I actually would just want to return it back. And keeping the Rising, keeping the Acrobat Verdi could always search us, and maybe even keeping up Dexter, or returning the Dexter and the Acrobat Verdi to try to really get into that grade 2 and a little bit of a grade 2 rush. Alright, you could also choose to keep up Dexter because you don't have Rona, and Dexter could always make you more grade 3s. So 1 and 2. What was the third one? It was a crit. So this would be the starting hand of Rising. Quite good, quite good. I would rather draw into another grade 2 to give me a little bit of a rush, because now you only have Braki and you really don't want to ride into Braki. It's just a shame. You would rather just draw into Rona. Right, so shuffled and ready. Draw for turn. Let's see, good draw. We have to ride into our only grade 1. And we draw from the starter. And then the Rising deck will try to do the same thing. So we draw for turn. We drew into a Rona. It's already becoming a very good hand. We will rise into the Acrobat Verdi. We will draw for turn. And we will also get our Quick Shield, which we will discard if we get a grade 3 using the Acrobat Verdi skill. If we get a grade 3, that's good. shield. We don't really have to put anything else on the field, so we could just attack. This attacks, we want to take the damage on this side because you do really want to use the skill of Davy. So no guard, give it a double cut, 1 and 2, and then no guard. So drive check, Juggernaut, interesting. Damage check, evil trigger, sad. Stand and draw, right? Count blasts, search for Lucifer. Activate Lucifer skill, Soul Blast, 2 counter charge. Call up the Mason. Attack first because this will be a 10k shield, which they will not waste right away. So they will take this attack. And if they have just a 5k, that would not be enough. Shuffle, hopefully a good drive check. So no guard right here. Damage check, nothing. Attack again. No guard again, because we do have the 20k to guard this attack. It's nothing, and this will attack. And this did hit, so its skill could activate, which Dudley Mason's skill said when the attack hits, if you have Vanguard Dudley in card name, cut +1, put a card from the bottom of your deck, and then you choose your Dudley card from your hand and call it. But we will rather not do that right here. So this will attack, you will use your heal right here for no pass, and the drive check is nothing. And then it's the Dudley deck. Ended turn. Hey, we drew into a heal. That would have been a good third damage. Right, so we stand, we right into row now. Of course, we count blast 1. And right here, we could choose to call the Bull Spike, or we could call the Juggernaut. We only play 2 Juggernauts, so the Juggernaut is an interesting call that your opponent would actually maybe get rid of. But I still will call the Juggernaut, and I will show you later on why, because you could always Dexter the Juggernaut into something else if they keep the Juggernaut on the field. Which maybe will happen if they really want to rush and try to retire, or try to give us more damage. So shuffle, and then give it a double cut, 1 and 2. Call the Bracky to the field, of course, and then they gain the power. We'll just go face, so this will attack into their Vanguard. They will guard this attack, of course, so draft check, draw trigger. That's pretty good. Give power to Bracky, draw 1, and no damage on this side. So now we just go face again, so this will be 23 to Vanguard. They could guard this, but they know if they do guard this, then we will not give them the second damage, because they need 2 damage for the combo, so they could also just take this draw trigger. That's quite good. Draw 1. This attacks the face again, or you could try to get rid of the Mason. Pretty much up to you. If you attack face, then you know that the 15k shield will be enough. You could just try to get rid of the Mason, which is a very good plan. So attack the Mason. 2 damage is okay. Stand and draw on this side. Drew a draw. They drew a draw. Too bad, too bad. You have 2 options to ride. You could ride Lucifer, or you could ride into your Emperor. Pretty much up to you. You know that they will retire 1 from your field, so you could also just choose to ride into the Emperor right away. That's just good. But for me, I always like to ride into Lucifer, at least the first time, especially because the second time you will ride into the Emperor, and now you could create Force 2 right here, because it would be just more effective, and then keep this in the hand, and then you could choose to have the Emperors chilling right here and there, or attack with the Emperor. Pretty much up to you, but you could also just do it like this. This would also work. This would be great. If you do it like this, then you also have to keep this in hand and then just call the Davy. Activate the Davy skill to call something right here. You could also take out another Lucifer and keep this Lucifer in the back for the fact that you could always get the ambush Dexter. So the Davy will try to call another Lucifer right here. The Lucifer will give you the counter charge. That's pretty much how it would work. Quite good, quite good. Right here you could just attack. So you would attack with the Davy first because there is no moving markers. You could also use the Davy skill to call a something like a William. That also works. So you don't really have to go into him, but you would rather get the counter charge because you want the double counter blast for his ability. But the William could move the markers, of course. Alright, so now you actually could multi-attack a little bit. You get the counter charge, of course, from the skill of Lucifer. This will attack first. It will get the extra 10k, so this is 20 to the Vanguard. It's just a 15k shield, but you would rather take it and guard this attack. So no guard right here, and nothing. This attack, get the extra 10k. This will go to the bottom of the deck, of course, and this would be another 23. Then you would rather guard this attack. You could just use your heal, or you could give up your ambush Dexter. I would rather give up the heal right here, even though you know it's more shield than I need to. Then this goes to the bottom of the deck. He will attack you, counter +1, activating his ability to pretty much call the same field actually. They come both to the field. You could also choose to activate, this comes right here, and then activate its ability to count +1, and then call something like this, and this could Soul Blast, and then you could call this to the field. You could not Soul Blast anymore, but this would work as well. You just have a stronger column, but it does cost you a Soul Blast, and you do not get the counter charge. But that's okay as well. It's a good strategy to hit them a little bit stronger. The only downside to this strategy is that you have the marker on this side, which you actually don't want. But yeah, it works. Here we go. You gain extra 10k, and you could no guard this attack, or you could PG this attack. I would rather just no guard. So drive check, first heal doesn't go off, but you do get the power, and the second one is a crit. Whoa, this is quite good. Crit right here, and the power will go there. You could also do the crit right here, and then they would have to guard both attacks. That would also work, but you could also just do the crit right here. Pretty much up to you. For me, I would just rather do the crit here, and they take 1 damage, and that's good. Right, so 1 damage, it's nothing. Then they have to guard both attacks, right? So this is 30 to their Vanguard. They would have to PG and drop something like a Cyclone right here, and then they will attack with this, and this of course goes to the bottom of the deck. It's already quite strong because it gets the extra 10k as well, so they have to PG again, and they would have to lose something like a Juggernaut for this as well, or they could lose the Cyclone, but if they do so, they don't have any Cyclone anymore, so your hand would look like this. Right, so you stand, and these go away, and this goes to the bottom of the deck. Quite good field. This goes also away. We did manage to put them on 4 damage, which is pretty good. Stand and draw. We drew it to a Evil Spike, which means we don't have to use Dexter, but we could right into Rising, and then we get both markers. So 1 and 2. We'll go red and blue. Activate the skill of Bracky, which will give us a new Bracky. Definitely don't have a defensive hand when it comes to the Rising deck in this case, and you could do 2 things. You could try to ambush Dexter your way into 2 Bull Spikes and try to draw more, or you could just try to finish them off on this turn, but you just don't have enough to attack with, so you could also just do this, and then you would draw 1 less card, but you do have a double attacker. Now the Juggernaut will not gain power right here because again we don't have any Juggernaut left in the deck, which is sad, but hey, that's the way it is. Otherwise you could have used the skill of Ambush Dexter or the skill of Juggernaut itself. Alright, so of course the Bracky will gain the power, and right here you use your Rising skill to Soul Blast your starter, to use their both their skills, so you get the extra 10k. Right here we do need heals, we have to get heals. So this will be the first attack, it's just a 15k shield, which they would actually do, because why wouldn't they? And then you will attack with this, you will Soul Blast 1 to move the markers on this side. And then this is a 20k shield, which is sad because this is not a 20k shield, so they have to drop 2 cards, and right there they would just take the attack. So 1 and 2 damage, you draw, that's quite good. Draw 1. Hey, we drew into Lucifer, interesting. This will attack, you will Soul Blast 1 to move the markers. And you will Counter Blast 1 to extend the bracket. So right here, they do need to guard this attack. If they do this, then it's a 2 to pass, which works. And if they want to do a no pass, then they would drop another from their hand. But I think a 2 to pass is actually pretty good right here. So first is a crit. We could do everything to the Vanguard, but that's just sad if the Rising deck will win right here with a 2 to pass. So we will do just everything to the Vanguard. Otherwise, it's just stupid. Second drive check, it's a heal. Oh damn. Me myself, I would definitely give everything to the Vanguard in this case. But let's say that they drop 2, just for this the argument's sake. We have to give everything to the Vanguard. Otherwise, it's just again, as I said, it's stupid. But then this attack will hit them as well. So let's say that they didn't, and you were just too chicken to give everything to the Vanguard. It does happen as well. Right, so this did guard the attack, and then you attack with this, you Soul Blast, of course, 1. You do retire this from this attack not hitting and draw 1. And then this will attack, all the markers will go right there. And then you have this 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. It's a 50 column, that's just stupid. And then you have to drop the 40 right here. It's the only way to guard this attack, and if you did a 2 to pass on the other attack, then you don't have enough shield. So this will give you 30, 40, 53, which is enough to stop the attack. And otherwise, if this was the double attacker, then you would have to drop this as well, which you did have, so it's good. But now you do ask yourself, what could this deck do against this in this situation? Because you know they only have 4 cards on hand, and if you multi-attack a little bit, then it's more than enough to kill them. So you stand, you draw, you get a William, which could move the markers, but you could also just ride, and this will give you the chance to create a second marker. And also this does give you the chance to activate his ability by calling something to the field by counterblasting 1. The downside to that is then you really need to draw into something like a Daisy, because the Daisy is the only combo extender that doesn't cost you counterblast. So there are different ways to play this turn out. You could just move this to the front row, call this to the back, call this right here, and that's it. That's your field. This could also work because you could move the markers a little bit, and there is a chance that you, of course, get more attackers out of him and create a stronger field. It's a possibility. So different ways to do this, and you could just rather stay with the 1 marker but move it a little bit. It's possible. All right, so you attack with this right away. It does get the extra 5k. So this is 21. This is 26, and they need 15k to stop this attack. And they would. Right here, this will go to the bottom of the deck. This will go away as well, and you can move the marker right here. So this attack, it gets only 5k, so it's a 10k shield, which they have, so they will drop. And then this will attack. Let's go to the bottom. Got +1. And right here, you would call this, and then you use the skill to count +1. And then you will call the Davy, and then use the Davy skill to Soul Blast. And then you call a grade 3. And of course, the grade 3 that you want to call is this Emperor, because the Emperor will give you the chance to gain even more power. This Emperor will get the extra 10k and that would mean that you need a 25k shield right here to be able to stop this attack. You could also do it a little bit different. You could also choose to do it like this, because you know that they will maybe take this attack and take the other attack as well. It's also possible, pretty much up to you. So the Rising deck in this case have to take this attack. They don't have enough shield to stop everything. They just have barely enough shield to stop this attack. So that would be a no guard right here. Alright, so shuffle, and the Dudley deck needs a crit to win. So drive check 1, a crit. That's everything they needed. And the second power will go here because there is a chance that this attack will get healed. And the second is nothing. So 1. Oh, my bad. You could also give the crit right here because the crit will not kill them. Because they were on 3 damage. I forgot they healed. So you could do this and then give the power here as well. And then the second is nothing. And now in this case, what you want to do here is you could attack with this first. They'll get the power. So they need to guard this attack and this attack. And they can't. They can't guard both attacks because this is 10, 20, 28. So they drop this, right? So let's guard. And then this attacks and let's go to the bottom of the deck. And this will gain another 10k because of both skills. So that's 33. And they don't have enough shield to stop this attack. So they have to take one of the attacks. And that would mean that they will die. If you did give the crit to him, then they would have gotten a damage trigger right here. And that could have been enough to stop the other 2 attacks. So again, this is the way that you could see that the Dudley deck could be stronger because of the fact that it could move the markers a little bit and it could create lots of power from having the Emperors. Now the Dudley deck was able to win, so we will have a game 3. Right, so thank you all for watching, thank you for tuning in our channel, and stay put because game 3 will be up also very soon. So till next time.